Yeah, I don't know. I feel quite strange already today. I think it's probably only a matter of time before I get some kind of idea for something to write. And I just grind that out for a bit. If I'm honest though, it's a bit of a depressing cycle. When I look at it like that. Because it's just like, okay. You know, I feel kind of shitty. Kind of probably being an understatement, but you know, I feel kind of shitty. And then it's just like, Suddenly I have a lot of motivation to write this thing. And so I write it. And it brings like some degree of very temporary relief from those feelings. Not where you want these guys to be. Okay, well, one's dead. This is no gold. I had no idea. Are you gone? Did you leave? I guess so. Well, this is funny. Well, this is funny. Bruh. But yeah. I feel whack for a bit, and then I write something to kind of get that emotion out there. And then that brings very, very temporary relief from the emotion. But then what, you know? It's like I'm effectively just back where I started. Because it's not long before I just feel the same. It's not long before the satisfaction of getting such a thing written down is completely null. And sharing it with people is nice, but I don't think it at all addresses the same feeling or desire. You know? Like, I don't write to share it with people, at least not in cases like this. I write solely to express my mind. You bitch. But yeah, I write to express myself, and kind of stave off the quite severe feelings with some stuff for a bit. But again, it's like, you know, where does that really get me? I just inevitably start feeling like garbage again, and then I'm back to trying to write things to alleviate that. And it feels less and less worth it each time, less effective. Or perhaps that's just recency bias, which could very well be the case. Maybe it's always been like this, and just now I'm complaining about it because, you know, it's happening now. This is gonna be kind of stinky. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, well, it's alright. I did that quite well, actually. Bit of a long journey with Anubis too. Isn't that cool? You fucking asshole. Yes, just please get out of here, dude. What the fuck? Dumbest thing. Oh my god, that was stupid. Anubis too, please perish. Thank you. Please don't zoom me like this, man. I'm only Meat Boy. It's right here. Like, what the fuck, dude? What do you want from me, game? I don't know, man. Things kinda chug. Things suck. I hate things. Dude, I'm a genius, actually. Is that? Yeah, it is. I kind of hate where it's at. Awesome. Bad. Oh, well. I mean, I guess this is where I'm going. Another 333 exiting black market. I hope I get another terrible Olmec. If I even get there on this run. Epic. I hope Moai is next level. It would certainly seem to be. Yo, nice mammoth. That's a pretty good one for mammoth strats, I think. It's got a funky position. Anti-aggro moment. Cool online. It just dawned on me that the level before the one with the black market, I think I got a 2-1 black market, but I don't know. It might have been 2-2. Either way, the level before that was quite lengthy. Huh. Yeah. I'm a moron. I got way too cocky with that cook. I already feel quite tired of Spelunky, but I don't know, there isn't anything else I want to stream. I don't have enough games for this, which is why I rarely stream, because normally I don't want to play Spelunky. And then it's just like, well, what's the alternative? And there is none. What am I even doing on this run? Like... One day I want to end adventure with 99 bombs and just have them all drop on the ground. I think that would be entertaining. I'm tired. uh, I'm tired in several ways, I guess. I know I already spoke about it, but back on that art cycle I mentioned, it just kind of feels pointless, you know? It's not gonna do anything to make me feel better about myself. It's just gonna be another piece of art I've made. It's like, that's cool. You know, making art is cool, but when you have such limited motivation or energy for like anything, you've got such massive, pervasive issues. I think it's only inevitable to call into question the time that's spent doing such things. I like being an artist. It's probably the one thing I would use to define my interests confidently. I'm not going to the worm. No. But yeah, I like being an artist, and it's the one thing I think I can actually like define myself with that doesn't feel off. But doesn't feel like it's worth anything. In terms of the betterment of my life, at least in the relative short term. And I'm still gonna do it when the motivation arises. I'm still gonna write stuff. I'm still gonna try to doodle occasionally when I feel up to that. It's just hard to like psych myself up for it, I guess. Like, I've had this untouched concept for a story just chilling for probably 5 days now. Something like that. And check. Never mind, it's been a week today. 1 week since I got that idea. And I recognize to myself, this is something I should develop, because I think it's a cool idea, and it could become something neat. But I just haven't. And it's not like I've been incapable of doing so. I just haven't tried. I haven't even pretended to try. Motivation or not, this wouldn't have happened because it's just... I don't know, I can't care right now. I really just can't care. Dude, I suck. That bubble kinda schmooved. If I'm honest though, I kinda don't have at least not a good method with which to obtain some respite from how shit things are. Like yeah, I can write stuff, but it's so draining that there's a lot of work that goes into that, and it's just like it's kind of too much. It's too much to do with any decent regularity. So instead it's strictly a side thing, and what's down here, man? Nothing. Yeah, so writing is a side thing. Not really much more. I don't have any friends who engage with it, so it's not like I can do anything but write for myself and attempt to share what I produce, which is to a very limited audience. Because most of what I write, most of what I write is like a ramble that I'll post on fucking Tumblr, which, like, who cares? Or it's some whack-ass story that I have 3 friends who would actually read, but none of them are interested in it for the same reason as I am. And when that's like the majority of the purpose it was written, it's kind of like, wow, it doesn't really mean much, does it? Although it's not entirely true. One definitely is interested for the same reason, but that doesn't really count in a way. Another might be. although it's a little hard to say. Is it hard to say? Probably not. Whatever, the point is, none of these people are actually suitable to discuss the work itself or even the ideas behind it. So really all art has going for it is as a means of self-expression for me. I can't derive anything meaningful beyond that that'll maybe help make me feel better. And so, you know, it doesn't feel like it serves all too much of a purpose if it's not something I'm particularly enthusiastic about. And you know, like, what else do I have? I can talk to friends. It's not very great when I feel alienated from all of them. To varying degrees, sure, but I'm still alienated from them. I feel that way. And whether or not that feeling's mutual, it doesn't really matter. Shoutouts to my desk. Still hard to talk to them in certain ways. Some subjects are just like off limits, or at least they feel that way. I've just felt more and more disconnected from them with time, which sucks. But I would be lying to myself to say anything else. As unfortunate as that is. So like, yeah, I mean, I try to do stuff with friends, but it's not as gratifying as I would hope, or effective, or as frequent as I would hope. Landing there was a risk, by the way, but oh well. I fucking hate my desk. Just awesome. Cool. Are you fucking kidding me? Stop. Jesus Christ. This desk is pain. I really need a new one, but inaction is my specialty. outside of art, outside of creating art rather, and the spending time with friends, what really do I have to do? I can consume other people's art, which I do. Not all that much, I wouldn't say, but I don't know. That's a pretty relative statement. The thing with that is, the only media I really consume are games, which is pretty much exclusively just stuff I'm familiar with, because starting a new game and sticking to it is borderline impossible for me, and it has been for quite some time. It just, they can't, they can almost never hold my attention for long enough that I follow through on them, because I just don't feel up to it. I don't feel up to playing them so often, and then there are these gaps in engagement which make going back to them harder and harder with time, and then at some point I've spent enough time away from it that going back, like, I might as well just restart, but then that's an even bigger barrier. So, you know, new games kind of don't really happen for me for the past while. And of course there are exceptions, but there aren't many. And usually when I have played something new, it's been very low commitment, very small. Things like A Year of Springs or co-open, like, you know, I finished those in 2 sittings or something each. And they were just feel-good little romps. It's like pretty much the only type of art I'm looking for. At least recently. Because anything else can easily prove to be too much, you know? I guess I'm in a more fragile state of mind than I might often realize, in a way. Although I'm well aware of how not great I'm doing in that regard. It's not too often that I recognize it. Jesus Christ, the snail. Yeah, it's not too often that I recognize it in such a way. But yeah, I think it is quite volatile at the moment, and so the wrong thing at like any time just fucks me up. Like a lot. So it leads to, I think it leads to me only really wanting to engage with media that is comfortable or like low emotional stakes in a way. I'm waiting for this guy to move. That's good enough. So yeah, I'm hesitant to engage with new games for that reason. And pretty much the only other media I engage with is like YouTube shit, right? But but that has quite the downside in that it's less substantive than a good amount of. Is there something that can kill me? Like, please. It was on the last level. I probably saw it and just didn't realize. Yeah, that stuff's often less substantive than the other the other type of thing I engage with. At least given the things I watch. And it's just draining to watch too much of it, you know, so it's not something I want to engage with that much. And so those are my two main options outside of creating my own art and doing stuff with friends. And it's like, wow. They're both kind of crippled, huh? Because I don't really consume any other mediums where I'm sure there are more substantive stories to find. I just don't really do it, you know? And now let's assume that I did, right? And I found stories that really resonated with me. I don't know if that's even a good thing anyway. One that's happened recently, which it kind of has with Co-Open and A Year of Springs. But when it's happened recently, I've found myself almost feeling like obsessive about it. Not in that I become a fan who just starts making fan works and all that, but it just cements itself in my mind, and it's so hard to not think about it frequently. And then it's like, you know, that already feels a little not good. This should speak to how few experiences I have with like actually meaningful or moving art, by the way. It just hasn't happened very often. So, like, the idea of being pulled in by a story in such a way is almost foreign to me. It has happened, of course, but it feels like a new thing. Because even despite everything, I've found myself slightly branching out, but like, on top of just having these things stick in my mind, and just like thinking about them a lot, I also just feel like really fucking emotional when I do that, and it's not in a good way. I remember, like, it's just, it's too much. It's too much to handle. And so these works that I found myself really admiring, and I simultaneously almost dislike them because engagement with them means engagement with essentially just feeling like shit. And I mean, ultimately, that's what everything wraps around to nowadays, huh? Say huh as if anyone could know or say that for certain, but no, that's a me observation, that's a me problem. But it's true. Almost anything just eventually, given enough time, will wrap around to being just being a negative experience for me. And I don't think it has to be that way, which makes it all the worse. It doesn't have to be that way, really. But issues are so pervasive and so so like basically impossible to address that it's just like this is something I have to deal with. There's no alternative. I have to deal with this for minimum a long time. This has gotten a lot more funky, I guess, than anticipated, but I don't know, in such a situation, how do you not feel crippling hopelessness? In such a situation, how do you not fucking cry yourself to sleep, like, all the time? Now, I don't know the answer, but I've certainly been engaging with it somehow. Because I think I hold up surprisingly well, despite everything. Like, that can only last so long through so much shit. And it just kind of gets worse with time. Nothing ever seems to improve. My skills, maybe, but with every step forward, there are several steps back. Where do you go from there? You know? It's a wonder I'm not suicidal. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. It's miraculous that I haven't just wanted to fucking do it, you know? But I haven't. Somehow. I don't know where this endurance came from. But you know, even with that said, like, who's to say that that won't be the case one day? Who's to say that the spiral won't go that far down? Because it's certainly been descending, and it seems to be accelerating. Everything just kind of feels like it's in shambles. And I can sit here and, like, chuckle to myself about this, which is odd. Apparently I'm on Olmec. Honestly, couldn't tell you how my rope didn't work there, but sure. But yeah, I don't know. Again, things seem to be accelerating. I don't see any. Uh, I don't see anything getting better anytime soon. Although theoretically they probably could, but it feels so horrifically infeasible. And it's it it's so far off from when this started, I suppose. That even if it's very possible, even if it could happen quite soon, that's not something I can really believe. I can acknowledge it on a logical level, but I cannot internalize such a thing. It just doesn't seem possible. Or it's not quite true. I definitely know it's possible, but it doesn't seem reasonable. It doesn't seem like it's in the cards. I'm so accustomed to like a cripplingly awful situation that imagining anything else is like I feel comfortable saying that that's not something I've ever experienced, which I think goes a long way in allowing me to hold up as I have. Because it's not like I know what things could be like otherwise. I'm just, I don't know, I don't have that perspective. And all I can rely on is my own experiences to extrapolate how things may be in the future, and as things spiral, it's hard not to imagine that I won't be miserable regardless. And there's so much more I could say, but this isn't the place for such context. This isn't really the place for this sort of ramble at all, but this is where I found myself, so I'm okay with continuing, especially seeing as no one seems to be here. So I feel a little less a little less odd, just complaining. As Carl may say, all I ever do is complain.